Hello, everyone. My name is Liam, and welcome back to Crease Analysis. Today, we're going to be starting a new series where we're going to be taking a look at all the goalies from the Olympics and ranking them ahead of the tournament. This video is going to start off with the Group A teams consisting of Canada, Czechia, Switzerland, and France. Thankfully, Canada did the smart thing and took Logan Thompson, who has been a top three goalie this season, solidifying himself as an elite goalie, seeing as he stepped into a bigger role and even improved his numbers. If they didn't take him, we probably would have had a 2011 Vancouver situation on our hands. Anyways, I have Thompson as my third ranked goalie, rounding out the top tier, which may seem a little odd, but I will get to that later. The physical talents with Thompson are just incredible, making him more stylistically similar to the hyper athletic Russians than the methodical technical Canadians. He has otherworldly flexibility, mobility, and explosiveness. He often plays very wide while maintaining power and agility. He can flare his butterfly wide and transition smoothly to his feet and into a butterfly. He's extremely quick on his feet. He has fantastic edge control and he's really smart. Thompson is just great positionally. He really anticipates play well. He tracks pucks with ease. My big concern last year was his consistency problem, which he has seemingly improved upon this year. But he can still be prone to a pretty bad game here and there, and he does go on streaks. His stance is a bit wacky, and he doesn't have amazing body control, letting his wild athleticism take over a lot. But I mean, the guy just stops pucks really well and has that next level X factor with his compete in athletic or skating feats. If he somehow doesn't end up the starter, then Canada is making a huge mistake because at his best, Thompson is one of the best goalies in the world. Now, I'm going to be blunt. I am furious that Canada took Binnington. It is genuinely an embarrassment that he was taken with absolutely no hesitation. I knew that he was going to be a lock coming in, but in real life, there's always priceless until the right offer is made. Man, Binnington has given $1 billion reason to not take him. Straight up, the worst goalie in the NHL, not even a modicum of a debate. He is completely and utterly unplayable. I think if you take any unsuspecting AHL starter that is not in any way ready for the NHL and play him like he's an NHL starter, you are going to get the same numbers. Not even joking. He has been that bad. It is genuinely a travesty because he is playing so badly and he just doesn't care. There is no effort. I am sorry, but I do not care what he's done in the past. It is completely unacceptable. I get it. I get that he's a big game Binnington or whatever, and he won a cup and won the Four Nations. I was literally one of the guys jumping on my seat when he was robbing the USA blind in OT. But it's all a farce. Take a look at his playoff history post-cup. Take a look at his world championship performance the year before the Four Nations. Big game Binnington is a myth. It is not real. The three categories I roughly used to make this list were results first, then talent, then a more subjective measure of how confident do I feel with this guy in net in an important game. His results are literally as bad as you can get as an NHL goalie. His talent is good. He's athletic, a good skater, but he does have some pretty bad holes. As for the last one, I do not feel confident with him in the net whatsoever. And you can't tell me you did either in the Four Nations. The weak goals, the inconsistency. I am terrified when he is in the net, even if he somehow pulled it off last year. The crazy thing is that it's going to be his crease to lose at the Olympics, and I pray that they give the reins over to Thompson ASAP. Binnington lands at 15th on my list, the last of Tier 4 and the last of all NHL goalies. Man, I wish Blackwood were here. The starter for Switzerland this year falls to Akira Schmid, with the backup being Leonardo Genoni. Schmid finds himself in my fourth tier of goalies, sitting at the 14 mark currently, but realistically, he could move anywhere around that tier. Schmid has bounced between the AHL and NHL for the past couple years before getting lucky in Vegas, where he became a tandem-ish goalie by default due to Hill's injury and Hill and Carter Hart forgetting how to play the game of hockey. Schmid fits the mold of the well-rounded goalie without any real high-level tools to set him apart. He's calm, positions himself well, and skates decently most of the time. However, his save cycle can be pretty clunky. He can catch an edge moving through the crease, and is kind of stiff for NHL standards in that he doesn't seem to be overly mobile or flexible without any real power. Yet, for what it's worth, he is consistent and he gets the job done. As a third stringer backup, he can come in, play reliably decent hockey, and put up respectable numbers that can win his team some games. Expect much more than that, and I think you will end up disappointed, but he should be solid enough to give Switzerland a fighting chance. Leonardo Genoni, on the other hand, is a legend and someone I have the utmost respect for. The guy has been around forever, entering the tournament at 38 years young, and is arguably the second best Swiss goalie ever, despite never playing a single game in the NHL. He's won the National League Championship 7 times, Goalie of the Year 6 times, an NL MVP, 2 Spangler Cups, 3 silver medals at the World Championships, a World Championship MVP, and is a veteran of nearly 1,000 total games in the NL, rocking a .922 career regular season save percentage and a .936 career playoff save percentage over 23 years of playing. He is one of the best goalies to never play a game in the NHL and finally gets to see best on best action, where I am positive and hopeful he will get into at least a game. You can tell he is from an older generation just by looking at his pads, but the man is still sharp as ever. He's quick on his feet, transitions well, uses the eons of experience to anticipate the play, and he can still stretch out like he's 26. He lands at 16 on my list in the tier 5 of goalies, leading all non-NHLers. His wealth of experience and history of being a big moment goalie will be indispensable to Switzerland this year. In the interest of time, we are going to be brief and only look at France's presumed starter, Antoine Keller. Keller has taken over as the national team's go-to guy, developing out of the Swiss system first before taking a quick pit stop in the queue after being drafted to Washington, then making his way back to Switzerland. He lands as my last goalie ranked out of the 20 on my list because he just hasn't really found his footing anywhere since getting drafted. He does have some talent, he wasn't just a wasted pick. It just hasn't really been working out for him so far. I don't think the NL, arguably the third best league in the world, is necessarily the right spot for him. He's pretty quick, has good edges, and half-decent athletic talent, mostly in mobility and transitions. I just don't think he's able to cognitively keep up with such a high level of play. The tracking, decisions, and anticipation can all be pretty iffy. He seems surprised a lot, and that's not really ideal as a goalie. But his physical talents are keeping him somewhat afloat in a very good league. Hopefully, for his sake, he can find himself in a situation that better caters to his development in the future. But for now, it's going to be a long Olympic Games for the French goalie. The starting role feels pretty up in the air for Czechia without a real wrong answer here. Dostal and Vejmelka have put up equivocal numbers over the past 2 years, but I think I'm going to give the edge to Dostal. Lukáš Dostal is a phenomenal goalie with one of the brightest futures ahead, and it has landed him as my 4th-ranked goalie leading the second tier. His save percentage doesn't really reflect how good he is, but he is 7th in goal save above expected over the past 2 years, making him elite. He's an incredible skater, especially in the butterfly, as he's very easily able to shuffle on his knees or get an edge, barely taking his knee off the ice. He's uber quick. He has that athleticism where he can explode and extend, but controls it so well that he can maintain a stance throughout an extension and react to a bounce or pass. He is smart, has really good positioning, great tracking, play reading, and overall just an awesome goalie. The only area he really struggles in is his hands, particularly as a low blocker with just a .690 save percentage there. He's one of my personal favorite goalies and is a great model of an elite goalie to learn from, unlike those Russians who are made in a lab and can't be replicated. Czechia will be competing hard to medal, and Dostal's game-stealing ability will be crucial in doing so, and he will pose a massive threat to the Big Four if he gets going. Karel Vejmelka has sort of gone under the radar as one of the premier goalies in the NHL. Like Dostal, he doesn't have the flashy save percentage. For the past 2 years, you know who sits 6th just above Dostal in goal save above expected? Vejmelka. You know who has played the most games in that span? Vejmelka. Deservedly so, he sits right behind Dostal as my 5th-ranked goalie. He's very mobile, smooth, quick, explosive, has fantastic transitions, good positioning. I mean, it sounds like I'm going to be repeating myself, but when you're talking about goalies of his caliber, he's just going to be good at it all. The only thing that really separates him from Dostal is that he seems to lack the control and calmness Dostal has. But even then, it's not really an issue. I like Vejmelka a lot. He's quietly but firmly asserted himself as one of the best goalies in the NHL, as a high volume, high quality guy. If Czechia opts to play Vejmelka over Dostal, I cannot complain whatsoever, as it will be a great choice either way. Most countries wish they could get one of these guys on their level. So to recap our rankings for this video, we have in Tier 1, Logan Thompson coming in at number 3. In Tier 2, Lukáš Dostal and Karel Vejmelka coming in at 4 and 5. In Tier 4, we have Akira Schmid and Jordan Binnington coming in at 14 and 15. In Tier 5, we have Leonardo Genoni and Antoine Keller coming in at 16 and 20.